too soon. Give to me when I am old, and I'll wrap you up, and we play hide and seek, and my heart rate climbs up above 130, and I wanna help you reach it, reach your peak, cause you told me that you like to get dirty. You're dirty and I like that, when it's just for me. You're dirty and I like that, when no one else can see. You're dirty and I like that.
Check out. Ok, ja. Dime Ronaldinho. Siendo una leyenda lo sabía desde niño. Fóseme en cariño. Comiendo el almuerzo me faltaba el aliño. ¿Por qué no frontea, mini? Si tú tienes porte te lo juro no eres fea. Flow duro como un Lamborghini. Solo a las cosas como quieres y donde sea. Somos leyenda, 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 leyendas vivas. Somos leyenda, 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 leyendas vivas. La gente pone las reglas para que los otros las sigan. Afuera, afuera esa gente que siempre tiene esa manía. Somos somos las leyendas vivas. Somos las leyendas vivas. Stop.
Do people only like women that look like this?
Is this what beauty looks like?
Beauty is not what you're sold.
It's what you're told.
Celebrate the day. Get your own beer. Kindness spreads farther than you realize. Even if people don't accept your kindness, it's good to spread it all around. Be the good in the world.
Well, good evening, shipheads. My name is Tim Rowland, otherwise known as Lee Douche Canoe, otherwise known as the guy from the Preparation H commercials, otherwise known as the guy that comes in the middle of the night and steals puppies from little children, otherwise known as the guy that sits with my Budweiser What's Up t-shirt, drinking a nice Shirley Temple after eating all the fish tacos at the all-you-can-eat taco bar while listening to the love of my life, Olivia Newton-John, sing I Honestly Love You, all alone. That's me, Tim Rowland, and I'm here to tell you that I know nothing about anything. Yeah, I'm just a guy that writes crap, really. Don't believe anything I say. Whatever I say, it's usually just made up. I usually write it on the toilet. Usually I write it on toilet paper, and then I wipe my butt, and then I flush it, and then it ends up in the newspaper. So there you have it, shipheads. It's me, Tim Rowland, What's up, Begok?
Check out. Okay, huh? Dime.
Heaven's sakes alive. What's going on, friends? Uh-oh, feedback detected. Woo! That could be a problem. You guys getting an echo? I hope not. We tested this, dang it. We tested it. We tested it. You can smell my hair from here. Daniel, that was a short intro. Thank you very much. Normally they're like 5 minutes. That was 3 minutes. But you know, I don't know what to tell you. All right, no echo, no echo. Don't know why it detected feedback, but that's okay. That's okay. Listen, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to introduce a legend like Larry, who, as I stare at him now, looks frozen. I don't know if he's frozen over there on his end, but he's not moving. I can tell you that much. I don't know if he's here. I think he fell out somehow. We'll have to wait and see if he comes back. But I can tell you one way I would introduce my good friend Larry Bumb, Beauty and the Bum, as you may know him. Let's see if he's actually here. Hold up, he's not here. He's gone. Don't know what happened to our boy Larry, but he knows what to do if he gets frozen out. We've already been through those contingencies. But here's one way I would introduce my good friend Larry. Would you just look at that? Look at it. Now, you all saw Larry in the thumbnail, if you were paying attention at all. But thank you, CDM Barbecue Mafia. He says that I look like a young Johnny Carson. I like it. I like that a lot, actually. I like it a lot. I don't know where our boy is, but hopefully he makes it back. Listen, let me just tell you, since he's not here and he can't hear what I'm saying. So when we were discussing this whole live stream thing, right, I said, hey, you got good internet? Yeah, I got a good internet. Larry, I was setting up his stuff, and I get to looking, and I noticed it's taking me forever to move anything around on his computer. So I realized that quickly that we had a problem, and I ran a speed test. And let me just say, old Larry was getting speeds about, I don't know, AOL type speeds. AOL, yes, I guarantee someone was messaging. Oh, no, okay. So his internet speeds were something I hadn't seen since 1990. All right, I'm turning this off. But for real, we had to make some changes. We decided to go with this phone. Thank you, Scout the Hammer. But I like Larry, and I think Larry has a lot to offer, as you guys will see once we get all of the small issues worked out. But he decided to call Spectrum Internet and say, hey, what I have right now isn't working. Can you hook me up with something something a little better. And they said, sure, no problem. Now, let's find out here why this isn't working. This should be working, but it doesn't want to. We'll try it. Sometimes, you know, I try my best, I try my dangest, and it just doesn't work. But like I said, this is a test. This is a test of what is coming. The real setup that we're going to be doing won't look like this, that's for sure. But let's get this going. Let's get this going. I want to see what you guys have to say. Don't know why I got to resize that son of a gun, but get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Bear with the rooster here while I do this stuff on the fly. You know what? This is huge. Hold on. This is the hard, riveting footage that you guys were looking forward to when you tuned in tonight, I'm sure. But I'm going to make this work one way or another, especially since Larry's having issues over here. All right. There's that. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. All right. All right. There we go. All right, that's not the best. That's kind of small, ain't it? Uh-oh. I hear him. It looks like our boy's back. What happened, Larry? Well, this is, you know, get used to it. Get used to it around here. That's all I can tell you. You have been touched by the rooster, and I'm sure it feels good. Or some might say you've been touched by an angel. I don't know. Let's see if we get you now. Let's see if we got you. Okay, you're not in frame, but listen, I'm bringing you in. Everybody say hi to our boy Larry. There he is. There
What's
he
going on, people?
is. I'm sure I gave you a nice introduction. I just want you to know that.
Maybe not the most flattering of pictures.
Well, I mean, how about this one?
All right, let's see.
This one should do you good. Look at Larry. Look at Larry. Now, let me just say, lots of people saying hi to you, but I want you guys to see this because I think this might just blow your mind. Here goes. Just look at it. Look at it. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? Tell me that's not the cutest thing you ever saw. Larry, that is straight.
I don't know about that.
That is straight fire. That is straight fire.
No, you never asked me for my opinion of the photos you were taking from my Facebook.
Exactly. And let me tell you, Larry, let me tell you something. I have to say, you have some very interesting photos that you've taken on cruises. So, y'all, I would suggest you guys make friends with Larry Bumb the Third, and then just go do a deep dive into his photos. You will not be disappointed, I promise.
Well, my camera has also been known as the cruise creeper camera.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that, my friend. I'm trying to make these.
I've been known
Go ahead.
I have been known to catch people off guard, or when they weren't expecting to get their picture taken.
Well,
No, I am not going on the January vloggers cruise. I was signed up for it, but I had to cancel. I'm sorry to say I had to cancel. I coach a bunch of hockey teams, and we are having like our best seasons ever. And it's just really hard for me to miss any games. We're in the crunch time right now, and it's just really, really hard for me to miss any games. So unfortunately, I won't be there, but I'm sure everyone will have a great time. Very disappointed not going, but no, I will not be there.
you're not the only one disappointed. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I'm sure I'll find something to do. I'm sure that I won't be completely bored, but I mean, you can't really say that it's a full. You're getting the full cruise experience if you haven't cruised with Larry before. That's all.
I don't know.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, some people think I'm a little bit of a bad influencer, so that's all I got to say. But I
You're
have
not
a
a
good
bad
time.
influencer.
I have a good time. I try to have everyone around me have a good time. I just think that's what cruising is all about. You can kind of go your own way. You can form groups.
You can go your own way. Go your own way. Sorry. Sorry, Larry.
That's all right. That's all
You'll
good.
get used to it. I'm gonna give you the
No.
full gamut tonight.
I just don't think you'll ever hear me chiming in, but that's the difference between you and me, buddy.
What? You're not gonna sing for us?
Yeah. It's gonna take a lot more than that.
It's gonna take a lot of love. All right, I'll shut up now.
So all of our people out there, I got to tell them I've learned a lot from John in just the last so many days. Namely, I've learned that $55 for DSL is not a good deal. Not
a good deal at all.
Not a good deal at all. Long story. I forgot that I even had such a slow thing, but it's being corrected. That's all I can say. In the short time from yesterday to today, all kinds of things are in the works to change. So,
Is everyone having
make his life
problems?
easier.
Is everyone having problems hearing Larry, or is it just Tess? That's what I need to know. Because I can fix Larry if I need to. Okay, Kelly says that you're having a hard time hearing Larry. See, I told you this was a test. We got to dial this in. Doing it remotely can be difficult at times. So let's get you turned up a little bit.
It doesn't happen often where someone says, I'm not loud. That doesn't happen too often. It's actually very, very rare. Especially if I've been having a good time for a while, my volume definitely goes way, way up. Better?
Well, I don't know. I just fixed it. I just turned it up a little bit. We'll see if that's a little bit louder. Sing us something, Larry.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell everybody. So, I just might have to make a trip up to the northern studio because I was just informed tonight by a bunch of people that Southwest, everyone knows, has had quite a bit of issues, and they have really, really lowered their fares, like really low. So I looked at them like, wouldn't be bad to actually visit central headquarters up at the ship show.
Well,
maybe not if you have snow on the ground, though.
Well, there's no snow on the ground right now. I can tell you that.
That can change quickly for you.
Well, you got that right, my friend. You got that right.
But if anyone's looking to book airfare and they use Southwest, I would highly recommend that you go out. I have a trip coming up, and I looked, and round trip airfare from St. Louis to Fort Lauderdale was $275, and it's normally about $450.
Well, that's not bad.
So no, I was very very shocked by it. So airfare has definitely gotten affordable, at least with Southwest. And typically, if they do, the other ones try to match it. So it could affect everyone.
Well, so I can tell you this. Kelly found on United today really cheap fares. And when we go to New Orleans, I'm coming in a day early. She is coming, or I'm sorry, I'm coming in 2 days early. She's coming in the day before. And her flight was not supposed to leave until 7:00 at night. And they weren't, things go wrong at night when you fly. That's all I'm going to say. And she ended up booking the United flight that now gets her there at 2, but kept her Southwest flight. So she's got one for sure and another one in the bag, because the Southwest flight was booked with points, and I guess she's got it to where she can cancel at the last minute. So I was a little concerned about her making it down to New Orleans, in time, but it looks like everything's going to be okay. And if they do make that flight, they'll be able to be there for when people meet up the night before. So, you know what I'm saying, Larry?
Hard to go wrong with the night before in New Orleans.
Heck no.
I've only been there once, and that one night, I saw more things than I did probably my previous 10 years. So, especially when you're going up and down Bourbon Street.
Well, not just Bourbon Street, but okay, if you've been to Bourbon Street before, then you know that not just the music scene, right, but the food scene is just off the charts. Like,
it is very good. It is very good. Yes.
Me coming down the night before gives me the opportunity to check out Acme Oyster Bar. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I was in New Orleans one night before a cruise and didn't get there till it was already dark. And I was meeting up with about 4 other families. And so they got there, and the first thing they did is they're texting me, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the hotel. I'm in the lobby." And the first thing they say is, "Would you like a big ass beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh yeah, I have a.
And literally, they come to me with a cup this big that says "big ass beer" on it. So we go up and down, and to choose where to eat is hard. And there's music playing everywhere.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Larry.
It was unreal. It was a lot of fun.
Was
we had
it
a great
this?
time.
It's a big ass beer.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Bourbon Street, New Orleans, hugeassbeers.com.
Yeah. Well, there's one place is called Huge Ass Beer. Another one is called Big Ass Beer.
Oh.
And they are huge.
Which one do you prefer? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to talk to my colon, because I think the one they brought me was like Stag or Pabst Blue Ribbon, and the next day I was gurgling.
Ugh.
It was not epic. At the time I thought it was, but the next morning, no, it was not really epic. But all I'll tell you is about Bourbon Street. I stayed at the Bourbon Inn, which is right there, and all of a sudden, you wake up in the morning, you go outside and you walk around, and you're like, oh, God, this is where I was last night.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that. But you know what? I'm not going to lie, Larry. I saw the same type of thing in New York City. I mean, I saw straight up, and forgive my my choice of words here, but straight up poo on the streets. So, I mean, I watched some man, no joke, I watched a man urinate in front of a taxi cab. There was a kid in the cab, mind you.
Oh,
Okay? I watched him urinate. Then his buddy, right behind him, in his socks, walked right through the pile of pee that he left.
I don't think I was in New York then, by the way.
Well, this was shortly after we had seen Wicked on Halloween night. So I'm just
I
saying,
was not there.
it's definitely not the. If you can get through the day, once you get to the night, you don't see any of that for some reason. I don't know what it is. If it's the huge ass beers or if it's just good lighting, you don't see any of that stuff. But
It's really dark, and it's just we walk around at night, and it is super cool. I would go back there in a heartbeat. I really would.
me too.
I would definitely do it, and that's why I wish I was on the vlogger cruise, but just not working out, unfortunately. But everyone have a good time. I love watching everybody's posts and vlogs while they're on the cruise and during it. So we'll just have to stick with that.
Yeah, well, some people put out content faster than others. And so you'll definitely have that, my friend.
Yes, I've noticed that. I have definitely noticed that.
Yeah. But I mean,
Like I think I see Jamie from Sharon at Sea Travel.
yep.
He's out there. What is going on with him? He can't get the content out fast enough now. It's constantly coming out.
Well, I know what's going on. I can tell you exactly what's going on, my friend. Have you heard of a nice lady named Sharon?
Yes, I
Okay.
have.
Yeah,
I know her
well, yeah. So Sharon has been known to crack the whip, and word on the street is that Jamie does not get dinner until he's edited at least 15 minutes of footage per night. That's just what I heard. Don't know if it's true or not. Jamie, if you're there in the chat, maybe you could let me know, but that's just what I heard.
I'm going to go along with that. I would say yes. I will agree with that. Sharon tells him, "You're going to do this by this day, and you're going to get this one up by this day." And he'll say to her face, "Don't tell me what to do." And then he races to his laptop and starts working.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't thank you enough for saying that, Larry. I cannot thank you enough because I've witnessed that firsthand. But let me just say, in all seriousness, for real, if you guys saw some of his recent ship tours, I'm telling you, and friends of mine have said it as well, that hard travel will be out of a job soon. You know what I'm saying? So I do have to give props to my homeboy Jamie, because he's definitely been out there putting in the good content that way.
And he's getting out there at 5 a.m. when nobody is up yet.
Yeah, I wonder if he does that every night, Larry. What do you think?
Oh, there's sometimes he goes to bed at 5 a.m., but there's other times he gets up at 5 a.m.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. He's home alone for the next 4 nights. Let's party. Like, didn't you just get off of a ship where you partied a little bit? Huh?
I heard he partied a lot.
Well, I got to say this. There was a bunch of. So, the New Year's Eve cruise, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it with Melissa. We had done everything you're supposed to. Booked ahead of time on our airfare to get out there, and Southwest just canceled like everything, and I mean everything, and there was just no way for us to get there. The brand horse, Larry and Diane, lived pretty close to us, and they were like, "We will definitely we'll go to an SUV if you want to ride with us, and it's just not good for me to do that. Um, so unfortunately, we weren't able to go, and so on the last night, I don't know why Jamie chose actually the day. He shoots me a text saying, "I think day drinking is going to begin with my good friend and his good friend Mary Barkley," because
Oh, this is a good
last year,
story. This is a good story.
last year, we were at the Atrium Bar, and she turned to me and said, "I've heard so much about this Buffalo Trace stuff." And so she says to the bartender, I think she ordered a double. And she's like, "If I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna try it." And I mean, she tried it, and it didn't go well. She did not like it. So I had been saying before the cruise on our group chat that I wanted to have another Buffalo Trace with Mary Barkley, and she agreed. She's like, with Larry and Jamie, I'll do it. And so here they are on the last day when Jamie says, I think I'm gonna do day drinking. I'm gonna start with Mary Barkley, and I don't remember everybody in it. I think Daniel Fields was in it. There was about 5 of them, and he said they did not have Buffalo Trace, but Woodford, and they looked like heavy, heavy doubles. And they gave me a toast, and they put them all down, and I mean everybody put every drop down in the shot. And then I was like, "Oh boy, this is not going to go well." And I texted him the next day and said, "How's your ride home?" And he's like, "Had to pull over and take a nap."
Okay, is that confirmed, or was it he did pull over, or do we know that for sure? Because I know they were thinking about it.
I think he took a nap somewhere. I don't know where it was. But yes, I do think he had to take a nap.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. So I did, the funny thing about it was I didn't see any more posts or text or any more toast to me at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
oh, there we go. That was after some of us did a tequila tasting. I don't think Jamie was at the tequila tasting because I saw videos from Larry Brandhorst. All I saw from Larry Brandhorst the next day was, "Oh, it's good to be at a hotel and just sit back and relax today." So
well,
I think that group had a whole lot of fun on the last day.
yeah, I always get serious FOMO seeing those guys because, I mean, honestly, think about it. Larry Brandhorst, anyone who made it there, I guarantee they all had some sort of problems, whether it be with flights getting canceled or you know what I'm saying, whatever it was, and they still had quite a few folks there. So
yes, and unfortunately, I was like, I wanted to drive, I did, but it's just not good for me to be in the car that long. And then I texted Larry at night, and he's like, "We're 29 miles from our hotel." And then the next time I check in with him, he said, about 5 minutes later, we hit the highway was closed because of ice and snow, and they had been there for 4 hours. The next day he said is, "We are still here." They left St. Louis. They got a rental car in St. Louis at 7:30 that morning on Thursday, and they got to California, the hotel, I think at about 8 o'clock Friday night. They did not leave their car.
yeah, I heard there was quite a few dead stops on the highway.
They hit ice and snow. They hit it around Flagstaff. But they're troopers. They are troopers. They were sending me videos. I have never seen two people that have had to be in a car that long with such a great attitude. But when you're going, you're all excited about going.
Yep.
Much better than being in that when you're coming home. But we were really sad that we missed that cruise. We were really looking forward to it. We had a great time last year, but it was just the way it goes. So.
Well,
looking forward to our next ones.
Another thing, though, that I got to give you props for, because you know me, I throw a fit when my flight's delayed 15 minutes, right? your attitude when all this went down was like, listen, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. So I guess I just I'm just going to have to watch everybody having fun and make the best of it. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't even watch. It's like when my team doesn't make the playoffs. I don't watch. I don't care.
I just think I saw a super chat from Larry Thomas.
Was it okay? Did you? I was too busy over here messing with the chat, but like I said, tomorrow I will get it figured out. Oh my gosh, the Deckers are here. Oh my gosh, and they gotta go. Huh? Would you just look at that? Well, it's good to see the Deckers here from Australia. Did you get to see Tony from La Lita Loca? Probably not, but still. Larry Thomas, I wanted to thank you for the super chat. And for the super chat, I'm going to show you something that no one has seen before. This is exclusive footage. We've seen Jamie in his Speedo, and we've seen some other creators in their Speedo. But today, I give you the bum in his Speedo. And by bum, I do mean bum. Boom! Take that! Yet another photo I found in your phone, Larry. Well done, my friend. Looking good. I hope you bring that to Alaska. My goodness, we'll be doing the polar plunge, my friend. Larry, thank you.
Well, it's going to be summertime, though.
Well, that's true, but it's cold up there.
Won't be that cold.
Someone said something about, as a Cleveland fan, what was that? As a Cleveland fan, do you ever watch sports then? Listen, I made the comment the other night that when Ohio State blew that game like they did, that I really think I'm done with Ohio sports. Like, I've spent my whole life, except for 1 year when Ohio State won, and another year when Cleveland or the Cavs won. But every single time we even get close, there's some sort of ridiculous disappointment, just like against the Cubs in the World Series. We come back in the ninth to tie it with a grand slam, only to lose it. And in the first World Series, we got to Game 7 in the ninth inning and blow the save. I'm just saying, the Browns, they're a steaming pile of dog. I don't need it in my life. I would just as soon watch documentaries about natural disasters, because that's what I'm watching on the football field anyway. Sorry.
Well, at least that field goal barely missed.
Oh yeah, I told everyone there at the party, I could have kicked it better. Maybe not further, but I could have kicked it straighter, because that was a Cleveland steamer. Scott, you're right.
You know what that kind of reminded me of?
What?
One of your duck hooks off the tee.
You just had to go there, didn't you, Larry? Didn't you? Listen, I get it. Because I've been hitting you with some photos that you weren't expecting. But I do need to know this. Is this you?
Why? What? No.
That's not you?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say, I wondered if the ladies agreed. Sex machine. I couldn't tell. I didn't think it was you, but it was in your photos. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a sex machine.
All of those are creeper cams.
Well, I've been known to take a few creeper cams myself. As a matter of fact, the thumbnail this evening had a nice creeper cam shot of you. Someone was creeping on you when they took this. I'm loving this. I am loving this. Wanda says Larry is a sex machine. Now,
well, you know the one in the Speedo could not have been me because the guy's flesh was just way too white. I mean,
I was going to say, yes, you are very, very tan. But I was also going to say, it seemed like Either you had recently shaved in that photo, or he's a little less hairy. I don't know.
None of those are me. No, they're not me.
I know.
But I used to have fun. I was, yeah. It's a long story that I don't want to get into too much. But I would be bored on cruise ships at times, and I went around with my phone and tried to find interesting photos, good and bad, not just bad.
Well, Larry, you had some. Listen,
shocking.
like I said, go to Larry's Facebook page, take a deep dive into those photos. The best part is you're scrolling, right, and you're seeing the Larry that you all know and love, and you're scrolling, and then boom, all up in your face, cleanly shaven Larry. Look at that.
Yeah.
That hits you right in the face, and it's like, take that.
Yeah. That dog was not mine, by the way. Melissa wanted me to get a dog, and she took me to a dog store, and they plopped it on my lap, and he was super cute, and I was just like, I just was petrified of having a dog and being able to take care of him. So that was just at a pet store. That is not my dog. I do not have a dog, but he was cute. I love that dog.
Yeah,
but did not get him.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. I understand. Now, what am I doing here, Larry? I wanted to show something because I was pretty happy with this. I think you were as well. And the turnaround for this was quite fast as well. Let me see if I can find, let's see. Where are we at here? I don't know. I guess maybe I have a strange tendency to just misplace everything that I got. Say something, Larry. Keep the people entertained. Show them like you did. All right. Do like you did when Arnold was here, and you just completely took over and were a superstar.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm the Ed McMahon. I'm. That's not my way. But I will say this to people that are out there who have not done a group cruise. Believe it or not, I have not known John that long. I have not.
Nope.
But when people ask me about him,
uh-oh. What happened? Talk about a cliffhanger. He even looks surprised. Okay, see what that means? I'll tell you exactly what that means, y'all. That means he really didn't have anything to say. I don't know how he's keeping still for so long, but he didn't have anything to say. The good news is, after this week, Larry will be back with good internet, and we won't have to deal with him going live on his phone. That's what happens when people talk about John. Yeah, that's because Paul's doing his job. Paul Atta from the law firm of Gleckler, Atta, and Perlman, he's doing his job. And you start saying bad stuff, it gets censored before you can say lickety-split. John is a great guy, just saying. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. I see Big Al Clayco's here. How you doing? Frozen Larry. Sex machine. Look at Larry sitting there excited. He was about to say something really cool. And he got yeah, never mind. I always get caught up right there. Listen. Please understand, we're working through these kinks. What we have coming up, especially with some of the other collaborators, is going to be a lot of fun. And while I'm blathering on, I did want to mention, I had posted in the Facebook group earlier, Tommy Casabona has now started going live. Always Be Booked podcast. He started going live every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 o'clock. He's going to lead into the show, and I think there's going to be some good synergy there. I think we could actually have a lot of fun with that. We're going to take over Wednesday night. Pauletta, when is the big video going to drop? You know, the timing of that question was really good. Let me say this. I know you guys saw me. Let me go over here. We'll wait till we'll get. Is he coming back? Is he coming back? Oh, we'll wait till he gets back. Let me just get in here. All right. So you saw what I posted. Boy, that's loud. You saw what I put. Oh, is he back? I hear him. All right, he's still got to adjust his phone. But you guys saw what I posted on Facebook the other day with the giant green screen and maybe a superimposed image of me. Oh, shoot. I forgot I still had this get up on. This was a bit of foreshadowing. Yes, Richard. You tuned in just to see what didn't work, didn't you? I saw your comment the other day when I posted it, but did it work? Yeah, it worked, you son of a gun, and I'm going to show you right now, Richard Z. But let me get my boy Larry back in here. Look, I'm going to give you a little taste. He's drinking in the green room, says Steve. Well played. Where is Doodles? You've been gone for a few weeks. Bill Leach, I think you've been gone a few weeks too. Doodles is no longer co-hosting. That doesn't mean he's no longer involved. He's just no longer a regular co-host of the show. At least, for the foreseeable future. If Larry starts messing up, I don't know. We might have to get Doodles back. Paul's the one negotiating the contracts around here. I didn't even know Doodles was leaving until Paul sent me a memo. So I don't handle any of that stuff. It's a business decision. I can't help you with that. But Bill Leach, Doodles is still around. No, Doodles was never on the Vloggers Cruise test. Doodles was never on the Vloggers Cruise. He's going on the new Propaganda of the Seas, or whatever the hell it's called. Some new Royal Caribbean ship in a suite that overlooks the Aqua Theater. I think it's whatever the one, not the one. Is it the Wonder? I don't know.
Wonder.
Don't beat to hand on Mr. Lindy Lou, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I like to give people a hard time, and I know Steven Z likes to give me one too. So, Steven Z, my bad. Mr. Z. But I wasn't giving him a hard time, and my condolences to you and the loss of your parent. Yeah, he's on the Alaska cruise. That's right, Tess. Doodles is in the Witness Protection Program. The reason for Doodles taking a back seat will be known once the Dateline episode airs in March. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Paul, because I actually got a phone call from one of the producers, and they asked me for Chip Minsky's number. And you're welcome, Richard. And I want to show you something for real, because I understand exactly what you were asking me when you said, did it work? This time it did. Most of the time when it's not live, it works for me. It's when it's live that it all goes kablooey. But they asked me for Chip Minsky's number, and I'm like, I'm going to have to direct you to my attorney. And I gave him your number. He called me right back, and he said, who's this Wanda girl? Because Wanda Perlman keeps answering. She says that Paul's on holiday again, and she seemed annoyed. I said, I don't know. I guess just leave a voicemail. So I'm not speaking to the Dateline people unless you're present. I sent in 3 applications to co-host, says Jamie from ShareNetC, and never even got an interview.
That's not shocking.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm not part of that. I'm just talent here, y'all. I don't make the decisions. Talent. Did you hear me say that, Larry? Talent.
Yes, you actually do. You don't give yourself credit, but you are actually incredibly good at this. If you saw his studio and then you saw my studio, boy, it's a big difference. But
Larry,
I'm
you're
making
frozen.
strides.
You're frozen. That's a bummer, but they can hear you. I
All right.
think.
Wow.
They can hear you. You'll come in, you'll come out.
That's what happens when you do this on DSL.
The Cruise World, I co-hosted once. Well played. Great movie, too. Larry is a good ventriloquist, says Christopher Brown. Another good one. I don't have my graphics in here, but I can tell you when we are up and running full time and everything is set up, I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. There's no question about it. All my stuff comes tomorrow.
There's a lot of good ideas in the works, and I have zero doubts, even after the short time we've spent tonight. A good host for me, a good co-host for me, can absolutely sense when I'm having issues and take over. And you've already done that twice, right? And Doodles did it all the time. It didn't have to be said. It just, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to some things, and I'm also looking forward to a few more characters that we may be able to create with Larry Bumb and others.
I agree. I'm there with you.
Speaking of characters, I was talking about this video, and I'm going to give you guys a tease. It's almost done. It is my opus. Not really, but I'm in too deep at this point that I can't. I have to finish the project. I'm just in too deep. It's got to get done. Never in my life have I worked longer on something video-wise. But I'm going to give you a little tease. This is just a tiny, tiny tease. John, what's he say? Steve said, John will get this fireside chats in the future, I hope. Well, what I want to do, this is a dream of mine, and I'm glad to see a good co-host will grab your hand and tell you it's going to be okay. Yes, I'm glad to see Trevor. Because,
hey, am I moving again?
Yes, you are. But it's all. Did you turn your phone around, or?
You don't see me?
I got black dots on your shirt. That's all. Don't worry about it. Just leave it be. Leave it be.
How about I pour another bourbon?
I like it. Could you interview people on the Vloggers Cruise and post them, Jamie? I have some ideas with that. More on a comedic level, but yes, absolutely. One of my dreams is to do a fireside session out there at that RV of Trevor's and go ice fishing. Okay, let me rephrase that. Go ice with Trevor. Because I don't think they caught any fish. But I do want to go out there and hang because it looked like they had a great weekend. All right, let me just give you this little tidbit of what's to come. Little thing I was working on. There's two characters in this video. One is Walter Conk Bite. Don't get it twisted, Wanda. I see out there. It's Walter Conk Bite. You know, like Cronkite, Conk Bite, nautical. The other character is Mitch Dewinski. You know him. You love him. All right. Here we go. Without further ado.
Was standing by outside of the proceedings. Mitch, take it away.
Hey, girl, you stick around after this, we'll head on over to the Waffle House and we'll get scattered, covered, smothered, and chunked, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, are we live? Oh, thank you, Walter. Hey, everyone, it's Mitch coming at you live from outside of Cruise Court Studios, where as you can see, it's complete pandemonium in anticipation of this Rooster and Tommy Casabona pier running case. Quite frankly, I thought this was over a long time ago, and I pretty much forgot about it until they told me to come here today, but it looks like things are about to get started inside the studio, so let's take you inside.
Who was standing by outside of the...
That's all you get. That's all you get. I don't even know if the audio worked for the first half of it, but that's all you get. They don't call it ice catching. You're right, Angela. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. This world would have been better if John had no shirt on. Wow. Oh, this would have been better. Listen to you, Wanda. Gracious. Hey, Lindy Lou, thanks for the compliment. I'll take it. She said I'm too skinny. What a nice thing to say. Larry, take it away. You know what to do. It's Lindy Lou. It's Lindy Lou.
Yeah, you do look great, my man. There's no doubt about it.
No, give it to her. Come on.
No.
Come on. Lindy Lou. I got a bone to pick with you. How dare you, girl? Just kidding, girl. You know I love you. You know I love you. Wanda said, give it to her. Anyway, that's a snippet of the little video that I'm working on. Little. I don't know that little's the right word. There's the character that Larry plays. I've deliberately kept that as quiet as I can, because y'all are gonna crap your pants when you see the character that Larry plays in this video. I can tell you. Well, tell him your character's name.
Oh my God, I don't even remember. You had me do it like 6 months.
Fred Farkle.
That was my name.
Fred Farkle. He is the attorney. One of the attorneys. He is Paul Atta from Atta Gleckler and Perlman's nemesis in this video. And you'll see. And let's not forget Judge Cump Thumpin'.
So when I was doing Fred Farkle, I needed help recording. So Melissa came over and she's like, I know the perfect sport coat. So I have a sport coat, like from the movie Slapshot from the 60s, that I'll wear at times of hockey games. And then she's like, go in your bathroom and come out with some of that gel you slick all over your head. And she like parted it like right here and
oh, you have no idea. You have
like,
no idea.
One day you're going to do this anyway, so just get used to it.
When I saw the footage, now, granted, I don't know that I've had the opportunity to say this to you yet. But first of all, when I saw that footage, you knocked it out of the park 100 times better than I had ever even imagined. Did you take some liberties? Yes. Yes, you did.
Maybe the coffee cup?
Well, did you maybe get a little bit tipsy? I don't know.
It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and he gives me a script, and it says, do a shot, take a drink, do a shot.
Well, let's just say you followed the script quite well in the beginning, but then you kind of went a little bit off the rails. It took some time to. It's a good thing it took me so long, because Arnold was able to revamp some of his lines based on some of the stuff you were saying. But I noticed yesterday when I was editing a scene, like my script was like, okay, now light your cigar and say this. And I realized when I was piecing it all together that you lit your cigar after you were supposed to say something else. So it's hilarious when your cigar's not lit after you just lit it. But I may be giving away too much.
No, we went. I don't remember where we had to go. We got in the car and we're driving. And I was like, "Ooh, I better roll down the window. I'm a little foggy." He's like, "We had like 5 shots." Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing it. Melissa was great.
Yes.
I saw the picture. I was like, "Oh my God!" The hair and the sport coat, they went hand in hand.
Oh, wait till you see Arnold, though. Larry, you've seen Arnold. I mean, Arnold.
Yes, I've seen him. Yeah, he hit it. He knocked it out of the park.
Always Be Booked podcast comes in with a super awesome comment. He says, all for some shoulder cream. Yeah, well, this I can tell you this much. This whole video is a retort to the slanderous and, quite frankly, unprofessional judgment handed down by Tony Barnett from La Lita Loca. literally, when I saw his video and the vitriol that Tommy and I both received for being peer runners, I had written that script in about 3 hours. And had I known when I was writing that script that 3.5 months later, I was going to be still working on this video, I probably wouldn't have done it. But at this point, like I said, I'm too far in, and honestly, it's going to be funny, and it may be irrelevant by the time it comes out, which is why when I filmed my Mitch Dewinski stuff the other day, I made mention of this. Here you go. One more. Maybe. No. Oh, no, there's Larry. Check that out. Just look at him. That's great. That is pretty good.
Who was standing by outside of the proceedings. Mitch, take it away.
That one.
Hey, girl, you stick around after this, we'll head on over to the Waffle House and we'll get scattered, covered, smothered, and chunked, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, are we live? Oh, thank you, Walter. Hey, everyone, it's Mitch coming at you live from outside of Cruise Court Studios, where, as you can see, it's complete pandemonium in anticipation of this Rooster and Tommy Casabona peer running case. Quite frankly, I thought this was over a long time ago, and I pretty much forgot about it until they told me to come here today. But it looks like things are about to get started inside the studio, so let's take you inside.
Okay.
Who was standing by outside of the proceedings. Mitch,
Thank you. Thank you, Walter. Enough. Walter, he's such a camera hog. I mean, seriously. But I actually, I knew it had taken so long, so I had to change my script to be like, it's so old. You know, I got to figure out a way to bring that back in the fold. But listen, there, Mr. Casabona. I really wanted to come into your live this evening, but Larry and I were getting the final touches worked out here. I don't want to hear another word about this last stop thing. You're about to find out in this ruling about this last stop. And I know for a fact, if Doodles was the cruise director, Larry looks like the bingo host, says Paul Atta. Oh, Larry didn't like that one. Ooh, cruise beef.
All right. All right.
I think you look like the maitre d' at the very least.
I'll go along with anything, but yeah.
I got to give props to the girl who drew that because we had very limited photos that showed the whole outfit. She nailed it. She nailed it. But
I would say I would at least be the host of the belly flop contest.
Well, I don't know. The bingo host, I think, is more prestigious position, but
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you're right. Angela Emmett's not lost on me, right? Anything legal takes a long time. So you'll see how this all goes down. But Tommy, I know for a fact, was a little nervous, especially in the moments afterwards, because there was a lot of heat coming our way. Some of it justified in some way, only because we were mixing it up with the folks in the comments, but we quickly stopped. I love how this video is taking as long as an actual court case. Yes. See, sometimes, Tony, sometimes my genius gets overlooked in the creator space, right? I mean, it's hard to play the long con like that, but I had to. I'm just applying some green shoulder cream before dinner. I hope you're having a great time on that cruise. I've been following along on Facebook. Last night, I don't know what made me think I could just tune in at normal time and catch you live, but it looks like you're having a great time, and I saw that picture of you in that hot fire suit, Tony. That was ship show classy, and I'm happy to see the tie you chose. Well done. John is the greatest legal mind in the country working on this case. That's right, Paul. I have the greatest legal minds.
How about my friend out there, Timothy Walters? He knows it. I look more like the beverage director.
Okay, I'll give you that. Honestly, I'm going to say that 4:08 p.m. January 5th. That's what time it is where Tony is right now. I'm going to say that you are the cruise director who is taking over for the one who's going home because he's been on the ship for 9 months and wants to go see his family. Okay?
Yeah, there you go.
And by the way, be prepared. We're gonna need some video of you for the intro so I can get you inside of the little ringy doodle things. We got to get that all worked out. You're welcome, Tony. But you looked good. I saw it. You looked great. But okay, I'm not going to bring too much personal crap in here, Larry, but I do have to say, tomorrow we got to figure out what's the story with those videos that you sent me for this video I'm working on. Somehow each one of them is a different size than the other. It's so strange.
That is because I sent them all the same way.
Yeah. Were they shot on your phone?
Either mine or Melissa's.
You still have them though, right? The originals?
Yes, I still have. Yes.
Okay, then I'm not worried about it then. We'll get it.
We'll figure it out. No, you'll figure it out. You'll tell me exactly what to do, just like everything with my ship show south location. That needs a lot of work.
Well, yeah, but let's be honest here, Larry. Tony from Lolita Loca says the future's bright, and I believe that. He's in the future, so he would know, and I'm glad to hear it. But you really went out of your way here. Let's just be honest, because 4 days ago, you had a bunch of baseball framed photos and all kinds of sports memorabilia behind where your head is, right? And
those are the pictures you should have shown. Was my creation of this studio.
Well, I agree, but who doesn't want to see this? I mean, come on.
Oh boy, this ought to be good. It's probably not going to be me again. Oh, that is, yeah.
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
That was only 6 years ago.
Can I just say it? Go ahead.
Go ahead, say
no,
it.
go ahead.
No. If you look at my eyes, you can see I was sickly. So that was right before I got, But those dogs, Melissa's like, we're going to the pet store and you're getting a dog. And she's like, choose between these two. And I was like, oh my God, they were adorable. They were. I'm just petrified about taking care of an animal because I don't know what to do. But they were adorable. But that was 6 years ago. That's all.
Wow. Well, let me see. There was one more. I wanted you to explain this for me.
All right.
Set the scene. I need to know what's going on here.
All right. I'm ready. Oh, yeah. So, Melissa would love this comment. Back when I worked at Six Flags.
Hey, if you can guess in the comments which one's Larry, we'll give you nothing but props.
So, yeah, of course, I'm in the middle with the white belt. And that was my crew. And God, those are some of the best years of my life that I worked there. But it was tons of fun, and I kind of got to leave it at that.
What year was it?
That would have been like 1982.
Wow.
Yeah, 1982. I'm old, man.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
No, you're not. You're still in your 40s.
I'm going to be 50 in like 12 days.
You're still in your 40s. Stop it.
Paul Adam wants to know if Larry was in space camp.
Well, that's an old Six Flags picture. And
what ride were you in charge of?
So when they built that park, they had this wisdom that there would be one ice plant, and that ice plant would supply ice to the entire park.
Okay.
And I was the foreman of that ice plant. So we
Wow.
literally supplied ice to all the restaurants, all the food and beverage, any soda stand. We supplied ice to everything. Unbelievably, I did know this, and I would say
Well
it to
done,
my
Daniel.
crew all the time. If that plant would blow up, it would have blown up the entire park, and everybody would be dead because it was ammonia based.
What?
And oh god, yeah. And they had here I was like 20 years old, and I ran the place, and I had 18, 17, 16-year-olds working for me. But if you any kind of ammonia based coolant thing, that it's very it would have blown up, maybe not the whole park, but at least half of it easily.
Well,
Yeah.
it's good to know that Six Flags was putting a 20-year-old in charge of something that could, I can rest assured that I'm safe. It's interesting to think about that, but honestly, if you look at this photo, right? I mean, I couldn't tell if that was like from the movie Grease, or if it was, I would have never guessed until you said Six Flags. Like, I thought this was like your high school play when you guys all did Grease. I thought you were John Travolta.
Yeah, that's what I used to get called in my day. I won't deny that. That was my nickname. Yeah.
Well, who's the person on your right shoulder? Who is that?
The guy with the sunglasses?
Yes.
Okay, well, he has been in prison.
Okay.
But he is. I'm friends with him on Facebook now.
Can I just ask? It looks like he's scratching an itch right there.
Yeah, no, I think he's
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
not
sorry.
Not his itch, though.
Yeah. We could have crossed paths, small world. Oh, Tessa Mon says, I visited Six Flags in St. Louis in 82. We could have crossed paths. Well, just know this, Tess. If you had a Coca-Cola, Larry was behind it.
Exact. A cold Coca-Cola.
Trevor Bagokler wants to know what's wrong with prison.
I can't answer that. It might be a super awesome experience. That just reminded me, we did not give out one super awesome comment all night.
Well,
I think it would have been to Jamie admitting that he has to get the content out when he wants dinner.
Well, honestly, the reason there was no super awesome comments is because I knew if I loaded up the live stream with a bunch of graphics, I was afraid we might have issues. Just until we get the high-speed feed from Larry, I just want to keep it simple. So next week, we'll be able to...
Yes, and Coop, it's coming tomorrow. All my stuff is coming tomorrow. I'm going to go from... What was my speed, John? 5?
Your what?
My speed, my download speed.
His download speed was 4.76. And for you computer people out there, his upload speed, y'all, 0.7. I repeat, 0.7. Daniel Fields, Kevin Brubaker, somebody tell me, what was AOL's upload speed?
And did you remember what he said to me? He's like, "Good God, AOL upload on your phone was faster. You have like DSL." And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm plugged into the phone line."
Yeah, as soon as he told me, I'm like, "I don't know why your internet's so slow," and he goes, "Well, it's plugged into the phone line," and I said, "Oh."
So long story short, I just have to tell everybody that when I bought this condo, the first thing I did is I wanted TV. I was working and I had free internet and everything, so on my devices. So anyway, I got Dish, and then I wanted to get.
Hold on, Larry. I can't. I have to acknowledge this comment.
Go.
This is so freaking funny. Wanda, well done. She says, just fast enough for the party line. You remember that back in the day?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my
Okay,
God.
sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you'd pick up the phone, and I'd say, Mom, somebody's on the phone. She'd say, tell them to shut the hell up and hang up. Yeah, I had a party line. Young people will have no clue what we're talking about. None.
Yeah, nope.
So anyway, when I had Spectrum come out, and he's like, well, the only way we can do this, we have to drill a hole in the condo wall, and you have to get the homeowners association to sign off on that. So anyway, I called CenturyLink, and he's like, oh, yeah, we'll just do this and that. And I'm like, it was good enough for what I needed at the time, and I never thought about it. And all of a sudden,
Did
John
you say
talked to me,
this
he's
or
like-
that?
He's like, oh, that would be a good game for us to play, this or that. Do you agree? No?
Oh, I'm agreeing with video.
I'd say this or that. I would have great answers.
Sorry. There might be some of that coming soon. My dad wants to know, did your party line have different rings?
No, you would just pick up the phone to make a phone call, and there'd be people talking.
Yes.
That's what I remember.
Yes. Oh, Tess
Here's the one
Almond
thing-
did a lot of stuff in the 80s. She said, I used a party line in 1980 to call my boyfriend. Long story short, we didn't know people could listen in. Kind of like now.
Huh.
I can only imagine what Tess was saying.
Hey,
How you doing, big boy?
super awesome comment.
You know, it's funny. I mentioned when we were talking about your internet speed, Daniel Fields just came in like a stinking daggone freaking tech wizard and said, well, it started at something K, but then if you got the upgrade, you could get to 28K, right? We're not talking megabytes. We're talking kilobytes. Larry had just above a kilobyte of download speed. But anyway, I interrupted you. I want to hear this story because it's really fun to hear the origin of it all.
Well, you got to take me back to that story now.
Well, so they said that you had to get approval from the homeowners association.
Oh, yes. Okay. And I was like, that's not, and so I called CenturyNet, and the guy's like, CenturyLink, he came out and he's like, we can do this. We can just plug it into your phone line. And then now you have internet. So to do the basic things, it works. And I was like, when I moved in here like 7 years ago. So literally, I had never thought about it. And all of a sudden, John's talking to me like, you have like, it is slow. I have never seen anybody with this slow. He goes, what do you pay? And I said, $55. He goes, dude, you are getting ripped off so bad. He's like, I just went to the CenturyLink website and they charge that no matter what service you get. And he's like, you are getting ripped off so bad.
It is so
And I'm like, he's like, do you ever like watch movies on Amazon? I'm like, yes. He goes, does it work? I'm like, yes. He's like,
I'm still
It's
amazed.
like
I don't know how
blown
you
away.
could watch a movie, how you could stream a movie with those kind of speeds.
I guess I had bourbon next to me and I didn't realize it was slow. But anyway, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the last 2 days, and literally all my stuff, I'm switching, and all my stuff comes tomorrow. And so we'll get it set up that it happens so much easier. But I was like living in the dark ages.
Well, I do remember saying, you got good internet? Because that's pretty important. You're like, yeah, I got pretty good internet. And then he tells me it's plugged into the phone line.
Well, that was after you checked the speed.
Well, I knew there was a problem because I remotely took control of Larry's computer and I was trying to move stuff around and it wasn't working. And I'm like, this computer seems kind of slow. And then Larry watches his porn in 680p. No, Trevor. Larry watches his porn in 220D. And by that, I mean he has to borrow his neighbor's iPad and steal his internet. Oh,
Yeah,
wait. Kelly
I didn't
Madison
realize-
says, I have CenturyLink too, $55. I have to go to my 5G on occasion when I FaceTime the kids. Right. Exactly. That's, you know, what's funny is that's the solution we came up with this evening is that it wasn't going to work. We tried to go, if you can't see Larry's background, but we tried to use a good webcam, but the internet was so slow that his green screen looked gray.
Yeah,
And so
like a dark grayish green. It was not green at all.
yeah, but don't worry. After tonight, we'll get this fixed. Did you get the funny buzzing sound when you sign in? Of course. Remember when you would sign into AOL? That used to be part of the Ship Show introduction, except I got copyrighted for it. Would you believe it? The noises that AOL made when you were logging in is a copyrighted sound. Never would have guessed. Here, I thought those noises were like real things happening. Like that was the sound it made as it was connecting. No. That was a pre-recorded sound.
So back to my speech going way, way back when I got thrown out. I don't even know how far in my rant I went. But meeting you and becoming friends. How far did that go?
Well, I remember the first time I met you was on the corner.
Well, I was just...
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, God, I got cut off early. So that's what I was telling people. We have not known each other very long. But when your name comes up, I always tell people that he is one of my best friends. And
that's exactly where you got cut off. You were like, when I tell people.
And then I got cut off.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice, Larry.
So we were going on to Vista. And Melissa and I checked in the hotel. And we went to these. Right up, the Vista to the port is right there. And we went to these bars that just had some drinks in it. We were having dinner that night. And as we left a couple of bars to go to dinner, we're just standing on a street corner. And all of a sudden, I hear somebody kind of yell at me, and I can't hear crap. And I turn around, and it's Jamie, Sharon, Matthew, John, and Kelly. And they walk up, and Jamie, which he is known for, he loves to introduce friends to friends of his. And so he introduces me. I'm like, I feel like I've known you because I've been watching your shows for like probably 18 months. And they're like, what's your plans? We're like, we're going to this restaurant right down there. And they're like, well, we're going to the one next door. Do you want to join us? We're like, yeah, sure. He's like, well, let me see if we can change our reservation. We did. And literally we were there 30 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes. And I went up to go to the bathroom and service was a little slow. So I went to the bar to get a beer, take back, and John behind me, and I turned around and I was like, dude, it is so nice to meet you. It really, really is after watching you for so long. We spent that week together, and after that, I called him one of my best friends.
Well, I remember, and thank you, Larry, because I agree 100%, but I remember you had been on cruises with Jamie prior.
Yes.
And, you know, I talked to Jamie quite a bit, and he, I know Jamie Wilhite. My dad is funny. He's out here dropping super awesome comments. He's like DSL, damn slow line.
Yeah.
Well done. Tess Alman's like, what's DSL? DSL
super
was
awesome
an up.
comment.
Yeah. DSL was like when cassettes turned to CDs back in the day, right? When we went from AOL to DSL, you were like legit. You could actually like download a song.
8 tracks went to cassette.
Right. But Jamie kept telling me, this Larry guy, you're going to love him, you're going to love him, you're going to love him. And it was in, Galveston, right? And we went to that place and, okay, Tess, enough of that. We know you know what a cassette is. I saw you in your car when you were pulling away on the last cruise, and you had like the whole thing, the organizer in your passenger seat where you pull out the drawers. And I thought it was weird that, you know, you had 4 copies of the Wham album. I don't know why you had to have 4 copies, but you did. And it was all right there on the passenger seat. So don't sit here and act like you don't know, okay? Careless Whisper was blasting as you drove off into the night. But seriously.
All right, go back to Galveston.
I have a cool car that doesn't even have a CD player. Right, because it's got a cassette player, Tess. It has a cassette player. Okay, so I saw you walking down the street. I knew it was you. And I was like, this guy has no idea who I am. But I'm just going to freaking go at him. You know, because, you know, I could be aggressive that way. And I remember thinking, you know, you were much more reserved than I was expecting based on reports I was getting from Jamie, right? And I'm thinking, oh, man, maybe I came on a little too strong, because I think I came right up to you at the stop sign and like slapped you on the back.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I said, holy shit, it's Larry Bumb.
I thought it was a little lower.
It might have been your butt. I don't know. But I definitely, based on what someone made a comment earlier. It was Kelly. She said that, Kelly Scholes Madison, she said that that's the best thing about this community is even if you haven't met somebody, right, you still feel like you know them. And based on what Jamie was telling me and watching the videos, I felt like I knew you. You know what I'm saying? And
No, but I had been watching your shows for 18 months, like Die Hard. If I
I thought you were talking about Jamie.
No, you.
Oh,
and him too. I was watching him a little bit longer, but yours, I've been watching for 18 months. So it's like you and Doodles. So like I felt like you were my next door neighbors.
Yeah,
it's like that's what happened. But even if you don't watch them, even if you don't watch the videos, and you go on a group cruise, you become the best friends with so many people that you never ever would have dreamed you'd become friends with. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like I'm going on a cruise. We in March. So Melissa's one of our best friends turns 50, and we talked them into doing it, and then a mutual friend and her husband. And Melissa's like, we go on cruises and we become friends with perfect strangers. Not even the group cruises, but just perfect strangers. You sit at a bar, you start talking to people. And the amazing thing about a cruise is when you go on it, you see the same people over and over. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But you just become friends with so many people. And it's a really cool thing. It's just, there's like, really hard to describe until you do it. But when you're on the group cruises with John, Jamie, and when they do them together, they do so many activities that you really become close to these people, and you can't wait to see them again.
yeah. Well,
that's what.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's why I was the most upset about missing the New Year's Eve cruise.
Yep.
There were people on that cruise that I feel are Melissa and I's very, very good friends, and we don't get to see them other than cruising.
Right.
And I was watching the videos, and day one, I was very depressed.
All right,
because
Tess.
I wasn't there.
You know what a 45 is. You know what a 45 is. I know you had the freaking, what's his name, Donny Osmond on 45. Don't deny it. Tell me right now in the chat that you didn't have Donny Osmond on a 45. And if you didn't have Donny Osmond, I'll bet you had a Kiss song or Sha Na Na. If you tell me you didn't have one of those three, I'm calling bull crap.
I know what a 45 is.
She does too. She's out here starting
Well,
stuff.
here's my deal. When I was in high school and college, I drank a ton of Colt 45.
I drank it once, but you know what?
Especially in a 40.
Yeah, they also had another one that it was like it had like a red horse. It was made by Colt 45, but it was called Red Horse. And you can get it for 99 cents at the drive-thrus. Hey, Dad, I see you're watching, but we could get 40s for 99 cents at the drive-thrus in Worcester with no ID. And we would do that. But before my dad leaves, because I know it's getting late, somebody had mentioned 8-tracks, and I wanted to mention this. Back in the day, between my dad and my stepmom, they had a record collection and an 8-track collection that, oh gosh, we lost Larry. We lost him again. That is such a shame. I hate it when he just goes, but he'll be back. Let me go over here, though. I might as well come over here where you just see my sexy face. But when I was a kid, I had a space down in the basement where I would hang out, and they had this giant record collection and 8-track collection. And at the time, I didn't realize, talk about cruise content, right? This has nothing to do with cruising. That's why I love all of you. Larry was touching it, right? Like half the people in this chat I've met, I know. And if I haven't, I'm sure I soon will meet. Like we could talk about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But never in a million years would I have ever guessed that the music collection that I found in the basement of our house in small town Worcester, Ohio, would somehow mold my musical, what I like musically, right? Like we're talking James Taylor albums, 8 tracks. Olivia Newton-John, 8 tracks. Three Dog Night. Man, there were so many. Is it just so many? Jim Croce. I used to, if you're old as some of us here, you used to be able to figure out how to fast forward on an 8-track to get to the song you wanted by flipping it over. If you know what I'm saying, there was a way to do it. But I never would have guessed that the music that I found in that basement would still be a part of my life like it is now. I can tell you, and anyone who really knows me, especially my family, knows that James Taylor is probably in my top 3 favorite artists of all time. And I don't know if I would feel that way had I not had that music downstairs, right? We didn't have like music on demand as kids, so I had what I had. And I've seen James Taylor like 6 times, and it's a Christmas tradition in this house. Oh, the Eagles too. That was another one. It's a Christmas tradition in this house. Everyone knows it. When the tree's going up, James Taylor's Christmas album is playing from start to finish. That's it. It's every single year. Ever play Stairway to Heaven backwards? No, I haven't. I hear you, Larry, but you're, I don't see you yet. I see a gray checkerboard screen. Oh, now I see some stuff. Oh, look at that sexy son of a gun. There you are. There you are. There you are. All right, you're back. Let me get over to the other scene then. But, let me just say, Dad, thank you for that. And there's times, some of y'all may remember this if we're going to go down memory lane. And I don't know, Larry, I'm sure you remember this too, even though you're a little bit older, but
A lot older.
back in the day, we used to get record players for Christmas that were in like a little suitcase. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you could go to like if you went to Burger King in the Happy Meal, they would have like an album in there, but it was like a piece of vinyl, right? Like flexible, you know, like you would rip out of a magazine, really small. But there was one point in time when at Burger King they were actually passing out 45s tests. 45s, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I was introduced to Chuck Mangione. I'm just saying. And then I got the record player. First album I ever got. Well, there were two. The first two musical albums that I ever got, they were 33s, Tess, 33s. Pink Floyd The Wall. And oh my gosh. Oh, Kiss. Whatever the album was with Beth on it. The Floppy 45, that's right, Daniel. But those are my first two albums. Led Zeppelin or Brick in the Wall and Kiss. How about that? Who'd have thought we'd go down that road? Larry, first album you ever got, go.
Yeah, Elton John, Yellow Brick Road.
Ooh, nice. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. Something else happened tonight. I don't know the words, but that movie was all right. I do like this song. Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain? Favorite Elton John song, go. In the chat, too. Favorite Elton John song, go.
Mine, Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Okay.
How about that one?
Saturday, 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 Saturday. Pink Floyd, yes. My dad said you're welcome somewhere in the mix. Beatles, 45s. Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
My second favorite is The Bitch Is Back.
The bitch, I'm the bitch, and the bitch is back. Is that the one?
That's it. You're on, man.
Yeah. Well, one of the songs that I truly remember from my childhood, and my dad used to play guitar and drums. Whenever our family would get together, Big Al Clayco would play the drums, but he would also sing Elvira, boom, ba, boom, ba, ba, mow, mow, giddy up. Remember that song?
Oak Ridge Boys.
Was that the Oak Ridge Boys? My dad used to sing that. But the one that I remember, I think the song that I most closely associate with Big Al Clayco was, well, outside side of Chicago lived a man named Leroy Brown. Yes. I used to listen to those. I used to listen to those albums on repeat back in the day.
Jim Croce, poor dude, died in a plane crash.
He sang Time in a Bottle too, right?
And Bad Leroy Brown.
Well, I knew that, but he also sang Time in a Bottle.
Yeah.
You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Boom, 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 boom.
You should have had a band in the 70s.
I know I should have. I should have.
You're rocking it, man.
I'm just telling you. John was listening to this while I was watching Sesame Street, says Crazy Cat Traveler.
Hey, did you happen to notice our friend Jimmy? Like, it's late his time. He's probably 99 by now.
No, he's not 99. He just carried the chat over to Facebook Messenger. They're chatting over there. I see him.
What?
We must abort him, Larry. We must abort him.
My God, our show's not good enough for him.
He's probably watching like, you son of a... Anyway,
making...
Lindy Lou's loving it.
You rock it, dude.
Well, I gotta say, yeah, I do. Tess mentioned the Beatles, and there was a point in time. If I could keep time in a bottle, great song. There was a point in time I took a class in high school called Poetry of Song. Oh, see, Jamie's here. I'm a multitasker,
Yeah.
2 to 3 chats at once.
He poked his head out.
Yeah, like a prairie dog, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I took this class in high school, Poetry of Song, and I had, in hindsight, looking back, the music that I had available to me as a kid before the Beatles was still amazing, right? Before I discovered the Beatles in like 1988, it was amazing. But somewhere like in my sophomore year, I took that Poetry of Song class, and that's when I discovered the Beatles. And that's number 2. James Taylor's probably one, which interestingly enough was discovered by the Beatles and recorded his first album at Abbey Road Studios, but I digress. Beatles is probably number 2, and believe it or not, Paul Simon, number 3. Those are my 3 favorite musical
50
bands.
Ways to Leave Your Lover.
She said, it's really not my habit to intrude. Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be lost or misconstrued, but I'll repeat myself. At the risk of being rude, there must be 50 ways to leave your lover. Step on the bus, Gus. Don't need to discuss much. Oh, yes. Great song, Dad. Man walks down the street, says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bones, step back down through the alley with some roly-poly little rat-faced girl. Mr. Beer Belly, get these mutts away from me. I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. And if you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. Remember Chevy? I can call you Betty.
Yes, I do remember.
Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. Call me out. All right, enough of that.
Here's my big question for you.
Go ahead.
Are you listening?
I'm
What are
listening.
you drinking in front of you? A Blatz?
Mick Ultra.
Oh, that's it?
Mick
Yeah,
Ultra
wait,
Organic Light Lager. 85 calories, 2.5 carbs.
I was going to say, it looked like a Miller because it was a clear bottle.
Arnold says you need to learn beatboxing. Can you beatbox, Larry?
Well, tell me what it is and I'll learn it.
I'll show you. That's beatboxing. Bet you didn't think I was going to pull that out of my hat, did you, Arnold? Hey, look at you. Here's to you, buddy.
This is the best beer ever, right here.
I used to drink it all the time. Cruising for food, Wanda says, now I'm pregnant. What, no Malort? I've got some Malort. Linda Lou says she's in heaven. It just dawned on me that my dad just requested Call Me Al. Makes sense.
That-
Makes a heck of a lot of sense, considering his name's Al. John just reminded me of a boyfriend I had in high school, said Cruising for Food. Miller Lite is alcoholic water. Blech. Well, no one's drinking Miller Lite here. What's the second time in a couple years that you became prego? Oh, go ahead, Larry.
I'm getting back to my notes.
Good, because you know what? One of the things that I truly, truly admired about when you were live here in the studio with Arnold, I was afraid leading into those moments that you two were going to be a deer in the headlights, and you both crushed it. So, oops, sorry. I'm glad to, I'm anxious to see what you have. What do your notes say?
Well, here's my thing. So, I have always been a good speaker, but I always have to be prepared. So, I remember you and Arnold were setting everything up in the studio, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I go over there in your basement and like make some notes?" And you're like, "Yeah, go ahead." So we did the show, and the next week you were Doodles. Nothing against Doodles, because I love the dude. We had many roosters together.
Everyone
by
here
the way.
does. Everyone loves Doodles.
Does every rooster is?
I don't think anybody here knows what a rooster is. Tell us.
You do.
Oh yeah, I do, but tell the folks out in.
All right. Getting off my tangent a little bit, but I was supposed to play in a tournament with John, Doodles, myself, and Bunta on a Sunday. And it rained from 8 o'clock in the morning till midnight. So we're at his bar at the country club, which is like off the chisel, if I can steal a line from Jamie.
Absolutely.
And I said, you know what? Just give me a light beer, and I need a shot of Red Bull on that. And I told John and Doodles, have one. And they did, and they're like, you know what? This isn't bad. We had another one, and John turns to the bartender and he goes, here's the deal. Anybody ever orders a light beer with a shot of Red Bull in it, it's called the Rooster.
Yeah, and we didn't tell him to call it that either. That was his own doing.
So when I see you guys out, I was always like, how many roosters? Like when you were bowling the other night, have you guys been having roosters?
We hadn't been having roosters. York was force feeding double. What's that weird bourbon that the cap is like melting on it?
Maker's Mark.
Yeah. That was the best that the bowling alley had. And I ordered one, a double. And then I turned around and I had another. Then I fulfilled a lifelong dream of mine. Judge me if you want out there in Chatland. But one of the things that I've always wanted was a pair of real bowling shoes. Like from the bowling alley. I tipped the girl $50 and walked out the door with my bowling shoes on. They will be worn on formal night in about 27 days on board the Norwegian Breakaway. I figured $50 would cover that cost. But anyway, I fulfilled that lifelong
Let's go back
dream.
to the Breakaway.
Okay, hold on, wait, real quick. Then we go to a bar in town that was like the one in our hometown. I was with York, myself, and one of his buddies. I'm telling you, there's going to be formal night every night for me, Daniel Fields, and you know that. You know this. Richard Z, I'm munching what's left of my Chipotle. Or it's actually the other one. Not Chipotle, but whatever the other one is. But we almost got in a bar fight, y'all. Like, in a bar fight we were sitting there minding our own business, and some girl started running her mouth, and I thought I had a good one-liner, and she didn't like it. And then next thing you know, her friend didn't like it. And, you know, if you hadn't given me the second bourbon, I'd have been fine. But there was a point at time where I was like, come at me, bro. Let's go. And I'm so glad it didn't go down, because I probably would have gotten my butt kicked. But nobody in that bar knew I was about to get my butt kicked. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Back to the breakaway we go.
Maker's Mark.
Huh?
Was the second bourbon another Maker's Mark?
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. Oh, Steve, you zip it. I'll eat on TV all I want. Since when have I ever had good form on TV, Steve? Tell me that. Anyway, sorry. We had some good bourbon on the breakaway.
Oh my! I am so sorry I can't make that cruise. I really wanted to make that. I haven't been to New Orleans in so long, and it's just such a fun town. And when you're on Bourbon Street, the cruise ship, the port is really really close. I mean, the one thing, it's kind of a people hit or miss on it, but you go down the Mississippi for like 8 hours, and so at first it's really cool. Oh yeah, it's a long time till you get to the Gulf of Mexico.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so if you leave at 4, you won't hit the Gulf of Mexico till like midnight.
Thank you, Kathy L.
The first 3 or 4 hours is pretty cool, and then after that, it's very industrial. But when you if you stay up late and have a few drinks, you hit the Gulf of Mexico and you see all these the oil fields out in the ocean, and you wake up in the morning and it is just bluest of water. So it's really cool. But it's not so. I don't. It doesn't matter what ship you guys are going on. It really doesn't. Even though the breakaway seems really cool. I went on the Norwegian Prima, and it was not my favorite ship. It just wasn't. But I still had a great time. And it was like when I met John. It's like the Vista. So these cruise companies have lost a ton of money because of the pandemic and other reasons.
Yep.
And they're just making backs. And thank God I'm not a foodie, even though I need to get more healthy and back into shape. I'm not a foodie. I'm not at all. John is. John really enjoys food, and I'm not saying I don't enjoy really good food when it's presented to me, but the quality of the food has gone down in the ships, and it's the quantity and that. But you go on a cruise with people, and it's just the experience that makes up for it. And the Vista was not my favorite ship, but I had a great time, and I went on a Prima, and it was the same way. It just it was a smaller ship, but it had a lot of dead ends and really, really small places. And my biggest objection was I had no priority with Norwegian, and Melissa and I were standing outside in the line. I mean, for like at least 2 hours. And when we finally got on, and we went to book shows, they said they're all booked except for this one. Yeah. And I just didn't think that was right because we didn't have priority. We still had a great time, and I mean a really, really great time. So I guess I would say on the group cruises, I cruise for the groups, not especially the ship or the itinerary. But the breakaway I really wanted to do because it was out of New Orleans again. But it just wasn't meant to be. And just like the New Year's Eve cruise, I've learned to kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And try to not get anything. I don't like to get anything down. But I will say on the New Year's Eve, the first day, I was pretty depressed when I would drive because I wanted to be there. By day 2, I wanted everybody there to have a good time. And I was like, our time will come again. So after that vlogger cruise, I just had to mention something, John. How about the Alaska cruise? What is that also known as? I forgot.
The Freezer Bagakoff Sharon at Sea Ship Show Group Cruise.
It's like late June, so there's probably no chance of that, right?
No, it can get, dude. It's cold, man. You been to Alaska before or no?
No, never.
Okay. It's June, and there will be days where it's warm on land, but on the ship, put it this way: we went in late June, and we had like a picture opportunity where we got to go out with the captain out on the front of the ship to get a picture in front of the big glacier. And it was just above 30 out there in June. So but when you get on land, it could be 60 or it could be 40. You know what I'm saying? But then you get out on the ocean on these whale watching excursions. It's cold. I went on that glacier tour, and had I not dressed like it was Michigan in February, I'd have froze my bagok off that day. That's for sure. So people say it's summer, but I could tell you when I realized it was summer was when we took the dog mushing experience tour, and it was warm enough out where the stench of the dogs just assaulted your nose. Like, because these dogs, right, they have been trained to crap and pee as they're running, and they just drop it right there. And the person and the dog behind them just right through it. That's what they do. And as you're going through it, you're catching the melange of smells coming into your face. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew it was summertime. But they say it gets much worse, like maybe in late July when the bugs are really bad. But there's so many people out there that talk about, oh, I'm only going to cruise where it's warm and stuff. And, you know me, I don't hold back. Like, if I didn't like something, I'm just going to say it, right? Are you
looking at the chat?
Yeah, Jamie says it's like crapping and peeing while you're drinking. I've never done that. Okay, once I peed.
Well,
that
was going to say
1991.
Who knows about that?
All I'm saying is, if you are saying I'm not doing Alaska because you think it's cold, you're selling yourself short. Because as a cruiser, right, I feel like it's, let's put the people aside, right? Like, obviously, we've talked about this all night, that we love the community, we love the people, we love hanging out with the people. But as a cruiser, it's about the experience too, right? And there is no experience like Alaska. It is... There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing boring about it. Unless you go to 4 ports and book a salmon bake at each one. Maybe that would be boring. But how about taking a helicopter to a glacier and then coming back and going on a dog mushing excursion? And then the next day getting up and going out exploring on a train and then coming back and hitting a brewery and getting all jacked up and doing duck farts in some historic bar. I mean... I'm just saying.
I'm in.
It's not about... Wanda, you know me, Wanda. I am miserable when I'm cold. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I wear a hoodie 342 days a year. Wanda, you know I'm cold all the time. I was not miserable in Alaska. It's not like it's freaking the frozen tundra. Wanda, whatever. You could be stubborn if you want, but you're selling yourself short, and anyone else who says it, they're selling themselves short, and that's that.
Well, here's my biggest question.
You don't know it's not for you, Wanda, because you haven't done it. Don't tell me it's not for you. Don't tell me it's not for you because you haven't done it. Sorry, Larry.
All right, it's all right. You're good. You know, hey, was that a rooster rant?
I just get, don't tell me it's not for you if you haven't done it.
Wait, you didn't hit the rooster rant.
I don't have any of those graphics in here. I kept it simple tonight.
What about me drinking the 40?
Yes, I have that. I do have that.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Oh.
You know, I told somebody at work today that I've taken a lot of videos, right? And I'm proud of a lot of videos that I've shot. But this is probably one of my most favorite videos. Christopher Brown, June 2023, on board the Carnival Carnival thing. I suck at they switched the ship. I used to know it. I always tell people the Freedom. I just know Leroy Boogie's going to be there. That's all you need to know. Kevin Count says, truthfully, the train in Skagway totally blows. Yeah, I've heard that, but I've also heard that it's good too, but I do know what you mean. I don't have any time for a train ride because I want adventure. But this shot right here, Wanda, you're not going to be bundled up. See, you're giving yourself preconceived notions. You don't have to be bundled up. Book it in July. You'll be wearing short sleeves. Look at our vlogs. Stella, myself, Caitlin. What do you think? We're some kind of Eskimos? We were wearing short sleeves in Juneau.
We're June.
Come on now. Knock it off.
July.
Huh?
We're June 20th. It's almost July.
Yeah, I mean, you're not bundled up. You're selling yourself short. I'm just saying. Yeah, no. Always be booked. I don't even want to hear what you have to say about Alaska. It ain't going to fly with me because I know better. Don't even try it. You're just jumping on the bandwagon and we both know it.
So
I'm going to say.
Here's my question for you. I got a question.
Go ahead.
You got vlog in January, right?
What's that?
You got vlogger cruise in January.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Then you got the Alaska Freezer Bagage.
I've noticed twice now.
Cruise
I've noticed twice now you've skipped over another one. But I won't say. I know there's I know that's by design.
Hey,
but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Hey,
Bromania 2023.
Hey. Wait, what?
It's no secret. Bromania 23 is not a group cruise. What does she call it?
Melissa does not call it bromance.
No, she can call it what she wants, but she's missing out just like Wanda's missing out on Alaska. Actually, she's not missing anything. Trust me. I'm telling you. You know what's worse than Alaska is Bromania. You don't want to be there. Yeah, I'm telling you, that ship is probably the coldest ship in the fleet. The whole time. I've been watching vlogs about it. Everybody's wearing like hoodies. It's freezing cold. You don't want to be there.
So, how about the rooms that we have on Bromania?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the location?
Are they in the aft?
No, it's not. It's not so much that. It's just that when I was looking at booking the rooms with Jamie and Sharon, I said, Jamie, I want this room right here. He goes, why? I said, because right across. Well, first of all, go out our room. We're on the Lido deck. Go right out our room. There's a bar there, but even more importantly, right outside our room is a public restroom for you to use.
Yes. So, yep. so you can cut loose without
Oh yeah.
someone else smelling the
No,
deuce.
no taking care of business in the room. Just go right across the hall, and there it is.
Yes. Well, I mean, I get it. I mean,
And I'm gaming.
I don't have that problem because mine just, it smells like potpourri. But anyway, I wanted to finish this thought before I forget. This is one of the most favorite videos I've ever filmed. And it's not because it's you, and it's not because of I mean, it's great video. But cinematically, this is one of my most favorite videos. Let's watch it again. Now, with that in mind, you saw that video twice, right? You saw it twice. I want you to notice something. I'm going to show it one more time. Look at Larry's left breastal area and the design on his shirt. Okay? He's the captain, right? You see that? You see that with the anchor and everything, right? The captain logo on his shirt. I took a little creative liberty.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh.
That's way better. That's
All right, I'm waiting.
It's right there.
Oh, that is better. That's way better. That is way better.
And look at the puppies. Just look at the puppies, Larry.
Melissa was like, "Oh God, are you greased up?" I was like, "No, I'm fat."
Tesco's, that was a great day. You know, I have a very funny clip. Someday I'll get to putting it out there, but I remember the night before, we may have had a few drinks, and we had talked about playing Edward 40 Hands that next morning.
Yeah. Yes.
And I remember we got to Paradise Beach Club, and I grabbed myself a 40. I was very happy. That was one of my favorite things about that place, which I'm told they don't have anymore. But I had a 40 in hand, and I filmed myself holding the 40 the whole way trying to find you. And I'm walking through Paradise Beach Club with the 40 in front of me, and I find you, and you're like, I'm not feeling it this morning. But about 10 minutes later, you were able to do that. And if you notice, not one, but two 40s in hand. Now, what I want to know, be honest, Larry, you had intentions of chugging that when you started, but you quickly made a business decision midway through. Am I correct?
Oh my God. It's like, it hits you so bad. It's like, there's no way I can drink 40 ounces of beer. But I will tell this story. I don't even remember the night before. I do not. But I did told everybody about Edward 40 hands. So you get two 40s, you duct tape them to your hands, but you're not at a pool or the beach. And you won't take the tape off until they either drink both 40s or they pee themselves. So that was the story. But we got there, and I had a lot of cobwebs. And so Melissa's like, "Do we want the pool or the beach?" I'm like, "Well, I want the pool or the beach away from her."
Yeah, you guys were hiding. You guys were hiding.
Oh, big time. Huge time hiding. Yeah, and the waiter comes over, and Melissa's like, "Give him a 40 Dos Equis," and she did whatever. And I'm sitting and I poured some in her cup. I'm like, I can't do this. And then the rooster shows up, and he's got the big hat on. He's got his Speedo on. He's flexing his pecs and his stomach muscles. And he's like,
No. I was still portly back then.
No, you were not portly. He's like, you're not moving too well. Most is like, he's hurting. He's
Yeah,
hurting.
she definitely listen. She
Oh,
definitely
wait,
had me off
literally,
his off at the pass.
oh, I was hurting. I'm not going to deny it. And he walked away, and Melissa's like, are you really going to be this way? And I was like, give me that damn Dos Equis. I started drinking, and like, give me another. Give me. He had a sauce. I said, give me that. And then I ran into him, and I was like, I would say like 5 hours later, I ate a 3-hour old cheeseburger next to the pool. It was such a good time. Such a good time. The Francisconis will remember that story about the cheeseburger, but I guarantee you they're sound asleep.
Yeah, well, most likely, yes. You're probably right.
Yeah. And talk about great people. Are they great people or what?
Yes, when they're awake. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you see them on a cruise. If they're not napping, that's the only time. No, I'm just kidding. I like to give Brian a hard time. I've got a lot of good footage of Brian wherever we were taking a nice little nap. But the Francisconis are some of my best friends. And they were, again, it keeps circling back. I know people have made comments throughout the night about how we'll talk about anything. Imagine if you tuned into this thinking it was a cruise chat, and here we are talking about, Steely Dan and, Elton John and stuff. But then we circle back. It really all does come full circle back to the community and the Francisconis. We had such a great time when I was out there last year for training. Went to Boston, hung out with their family. Really good friends of mine, and they know. Brian knows he can party down too, and he also has like this weird system on how to make money when playing roulette. It's crazy.
I need to learn that system.
Well, I just learned that if you don't gamble, you don't lose.
Yeah. So that you bringing up the Francisconis, I have been on one cruise with them. One. That's it. 7 days. And they are the nicest people. And I can absolutely positively tell you, I cannot wait to cruise with them again. That's the beauty of the group cruises. No doubt about it.
Yep. Well, and yeah, because it doesn't matter. Kevin Counts, I will sleep any chance I get. I mean, it is 8:15 and I'm thinking of heading to bed. Yeah, see, I forget about that time change a lot. But it's true. Some people, they sleep, and that's what they need. But when it comes to this whole niche that we're involved in, the cruise space, if you want to call it that, because of the live streams, not just us, but all the other ones, you start to meet people throughout. And I've said it a million times, but it never fails that you make a connection with someone, even over just some funny comment that you read in a live stream, right? And you're forever bonded. And that is the beauty of those group cruises, because the people who, if they've booked your group cruise to come along, then you know that they know what you're all about. So they're part of your clan, right? And it just makes it so easy to interact. And it's also really a cool feeling, at least for me. And it's happened to me a lot since I've been involved in the cruise community, when I only know people from pictures, right? And their profile photos. And then all of a sudden you see them on a ship and you know them immediately. You know their name already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Kelly Einmo comes to mind. I had never met her in my life, but she was the first person that I saw when I got on board Adventure of the Seas in Nassau. She was at that bar just when you come on board the ship, and I saw her, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Kelly Einmo. I knew her from pictures. That's it. And I mean, that's just the cool thing about us. Best community ever.
But here's, this is the absolute huge difference. So the people like myself that watched all these videos, we watch you for an hour, hour and a half every week. So you just saw our comments. You didn't get to see about us. And literally, I started with Jamie and Sharon, and I found out she was a travel agent. And I told Melissa, I was like, they seem like the nicest people in the world. And then by the way YouTube works, I started watching your family vacations and especially the vlogs you did of the Freedom. I was like, oh my God, this family has so much fun together. And then I saw you did the live streams and I started watching them. And literally, when you finally meet the vloggers, you're like, I feel like I've known you for a long time, even though you've never met me before. So you get to know people from the vlogs, even though you don't really meet them, but you really get to know them. And I mean, I just consider you guys my best friends already, and we just don't get to see each other as much. But you know,
Well,
I can't wait for us to. I'll tell you that, and it's going to be like, oh God, we don't cruise again till Freezer, but October's right.
yeah, well, yeah, no,
I'm
that's
not
not true.
Bill.
We got
You,
Bromania 2023. Okay?
I'm not
It's
Bill
not a
Gates.
group cruise. I'm just going to say it. It's not a group cruise.
Well,
We learned very quickly on Bromania 2022 that it can't be a group cruise. There's no way. It won't work that way. Bromania is strictly. I'm not afraid to say it. Bromania is strictly for bros. It's not like we're trying to exclude anyone, right? The girls just want to have fun cruise. They're doing a huge group cruise, and originally that was our plan. But the best part of Bromania is there's no agenda, and I can't explain it, but I will never change it. It will always not be a group cruise.
but you're wrong. There is an agenda.
Oh, there is, but that's just being, cutting loose, right? Is that the agenda?
We're gonna have a great time.
Yes, we are. And I feel bad because
yes,
Trevor's still looking for a roommate. But there is
who went last year?
myself, Arnold, Trevor, and Doodles. We've added.
Thank you very much for extending the invitation to this guy named Jamie and myself.
Well, Jamie was already invited, so it just didn't work out the date. So,
I was
but by the time we had planned 2023, I had already met you twice. So I told Jamie, like Steve says, I can't wait till Romania 2023 when we do the panty raid.
Whoa. All right.
I'm kidding. Steve, you're just a bad influence. We just met Wendy and Roger on the New Year's Eve cruise and made great friends with them. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh my God, would be so fun to show up on Bromania and hide and record.
That's this Bromania thing. First time hearing about it. Sorry, Jamie. You're sharing a room with me, and you better bring some earplugs because I've been known to snore, and maybe some nose plugs because I've been known to have gas. So giving you the heads up. We have a balcony. We can prop open that balcony door.
Well,
But
Jamie says, what are you talking about, Bromania? It's the first time I'm hearing about it. Sounds like he's laying the groundwork for a cancellation, if you ask me.
No.
But I can tell you this much. When I brought my camera on Bromania 2022, my intentions were to document the experience. What actually happened was us just feeding everyone full of nonsense. What was that? Larry, are you okay? What was that? Did y'all hear that? Larry! Somebody call 911. Shorty's party's burning on the dance floor over here. That was the craziest sound I ever heard. Man, we're starting it off right around here, aren't we? You got to stay tuned late, just like when Doodles knocked over the monitor. But we spent a whole 4 days. Everything we said was just complete BS. Nothing made sense. None of it was true. We just lied. We'd be at the pub, and we'd be like, yeah, if you grab this book, it takes you down to the ice bar. It was nonsense. Okay, well, it looks like we lost Larry. He went and made some weird goat call, and that was it. That's a hell of a way to make an exit, I'll tell you that much. Goodness gracious. Did I miss something? Did he say he was going to do something? Because from my point of view, it looked like he just got up and went, that's what I caught. But maybe I missed something. Oh, wait. Oh, there he is. Good to know he's okay. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right, Tommy. We have to see this through. Listen, Larry, you don't understand. We didn't know what just happened.
I had to pee.
Well, all we knew was that you stood up, and then we heard, and then you came back with the beer.
Okay, so I'm going to educate our viewers.
Wait, before you do that, what was that sound we heard?
Yeah. Oh, God, I had to pee so bad it made me yell.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
It's like one of those, woo!
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Like a shiver. Like a woo!
Right.
Okay. Got you.
So I'm going to educate the Ship Show viewers. Anybody that likes a good bourbon, you know you want a big ice cube, right?
Yes.
Well, you don't. You like a lot of ice in yours.
No,
but
I like a big
but
ice cube.
This right here. All right, so this one. So it's the big round. So you have to fill it up, put the funnel on top, and then pour water down it. They're very hard to make.
I have one.
And then you go to open it. It's very hard to make. And you can see normally they don't turn out as a full ice cube. They turn out like a half. So what you have to do is you put water in them. See, it's a half. It freezes, then you put the funnel in, and then you got to put water again. So my son, the expert bartender, like you get them in squares. So when you go to get an ice cube out, it's just a square. There's no top on there. You pull it out. There's your big ice cube.
What's going on with the water over there in St. Louis? It looks like it's made of urine. Is that the camera, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
It must just be the white balance of your camera.
We live close to the Mississippi and the Missouri.
Okay. No square is better than round. Oh, so square is better than round is what Jamie wants to know.
All right, see that half round, full square, and this guy, he's gone. It's done.
So what Larry's saying is, when drinking bourbon, you really need to be up on your geometry. How many hats are you bringing on the VE cruise? Tess Almond wants to know. Ooh, Michter's. I love Michter's.
So who's had this?
I've had Michter's. $50 a bottle. My sister's favorite bourbon at that price point. So there you go. Well, listen, I think it's time we shut it down. I know right about now, Kelly's cussing me because I made her take care of Luna while I was live. And right before we went live, Luna chewed up her dog bed, and there's about... I'll send a picture into the Facebook group of what Luna did to the bed just before the live stream. But it either looks like she pooped 40 times in the studio or just a complete massacre. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Tess Almond says Michter's is great. But speaking of great, I don't know that there's a better way to end the live stream than the way a good friend of ours that some of you have met. I know I've met her. She was in Vegas. Larry, you met her. Kelly Scholes Madison. Her Big October video
is the best.
Her Big October video could have won me an award for best year in review. And that's how we're going to shut it down. We've got some stuff planned, but I'm really not going to go full speed at the live stream until after we return from the Vloggers Cruise. But I can tell you this. My intentions are next Wednesday, prior to the live stream, to premiere this crazy video I've been working on that will make sense to not a lot of people. But my intentions are next Wednesday is to premiere that video at 9:00 after Tommy Casabona, Always Be Booked podcast. You guys got to check that out. Trust me. I posted a link this week in the Facebook group. I'll do it again next week. Make sure you check out Tommy at 8:00. You won't regret it. He's doing some trivia stuff. And, you know, speaking of which, we were talking about cruises booked, right? So we have the Vloggers Cruise, right? We've got Bromania. We've got Alaska. And I'm booked on the celebration for the Always Be Booked Pirates and Pier Runners 3 cruise in October as well. So I've got a pretty full slate. Pretty full slate. But
I have a few others.
You care to divulge?
Well, I'm going on the Allure of the Seas, March 26th out of Galveston.
Yep.
I am going on, outside of those that he mentioned, I have the Sharon at Sea group cruise going out of London that goes to Norway and Iceland.
Yes.
But that is in July of 2024. And I have, the Icon of the Seas. I have the Icon of the Seas in March of 2024.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on that one too, actually.
Wait, you think? What do you mean you think?
I'm trying to. What's that?
do without you on the towers for a few days.
Well, that's not that. I keep saying I'm going to expand my horizons, and then all these other like new ships come out. Like I want to get on Celebrity, I want to get on Princess. I want to try some of these other ships, but I think I am going
Oh
to
my
be
God.
on Icon of the Seas, because I just know how much fun I have with the Sharon at Sea family, and I know a lot of y'all are going to be there.
Well,
So
I agree with that, but if you've been on the Oasis class, I mean, it's a lot of people, but the ships are so big and they have so many venues that I never really feel that crowded. And then I saw the pictures of the Icon and them moving the diving show from the back to the front, and it's enclosed, and it's just kind of a ship like it's going to be one of a kind. And I mean, I say I wanted to go on the celebrity or celebration um in November, and I just couldn't do it. But another great ship, and that's the same thing. It's like I want to go on celebrity, I want to go on princess, I would do Holland.
yeah, I would
But
do Holland.
these amazing ships that you don't want to miss out on. And it's like I can only do so many cruises in a year,
Right.
and I don't want to miss out on the cruises. I don't want to miss out on the group cruises. So that's the tough part of it. It really is. But
I'm
I
gonna be
can't
honest
thank you.
though. I don't care where they put the dive show. I like the dive show. Don't get me wrong. It's a good show. I've seen it 3 times. Is it going to be different inside? What I mean,
Well, unfortunately, too many times the dive show gets canceled because of wind or rocky water, where wind won't affect it inside.
yeah.
But it's like just something different. Every cruise ship I want to go on, I want to see something different.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, I say this to everybody: I would go on Royal Caribbean's oldest ship, Carnival's oldest ship, if it was a group cruise. I would,
Mhm.
because the people make the cruise, the people make the atmosphere, the people make the events. When Melissa and I travel together, we have the best of times. Don't get me wrong, no doubt about it. But we want to make friends too, and we want to make friends with different people. And we have met friends that are older than us, younger than us, the same age, East Coast, West Coast, North, South.
Yep.
I've explained this to people. When we go on a group cruise, I said there'll be 120 people, and I never see people not getting along. Never. I just don't see it. People might go their own way, which is the beauty of a group cruise or any cruise, but everyone gets along and everybody has fun together. And some people even tolerate how loud I get at times, you know.
Well, I mean,
But I
I don't find that you're loud at all.
I can't be. There's no doubt.
I feel like
can't be.
I can be way louder than you, but I know what you're saying. Crazy Cat Traveler says I'd love the food on Princess. But to your point, Larry, like the Alaska cruise, some would say, let's say we were in the Bahamas, some would say, "Oh, I'm not sailing on that ship." You know what I'm saying? I haven't given that ship a second thought. I know what to expect on a Carnival ship. Some amenities maybe more than others, but I do know what I can expect from the people. And I really, when I watch some of the videos, sometimes I stumble across them when I'm looking for something else. I stumble across these videos of the people that we're with, or even like your Bugoctober videos that you sent in with people I've cruised with, friends I've made along the way. And truly, 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 the thing I am most proud of in anything that I've done on YouTube, or you know what I'm saying, in the cruising community, is I'm not proud of it, but the things I cherish the most is the relationships that have come out of this, right? Like, no video has ever given me the satisfaction that I've gotten from stepping off of one of these cruises with a bunch of people that, you know, either I just met or I've known for a long time, and knowing that, you know, we'll see them again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing I think I cherish most about all of this. That is not at all what I expected when I started doing this. But I think Jamie and Sharon kind of taught me that along the way, like taking me along for the ride with their group cruise. It was very easy, very quick. I learned how people just come together, and, you know, I'm not, you know, that's not, you know, there's something to be said also. Like, when I went on Tommy's always be booked, you know, the Pirates and Pier Runners cruise, nobody knew who I was. And their first impression of me was that freaking Mitch Duinski guy that just showed up at the bar in disguise. And I'm telling you, they'll deny it, but it's true. And Tommy, if you're still here, it's true. They all thought I was a jackwad at first, right? You know, it took some time, but it was cool, like, to be on that cruise where nobody knew who I was, right? Because that was fun too. But I am truly, truly looking forward to the Alaska cruise. Yeah. It's our family. Truly, it's our family.
But this is the part. It's the hosts that bring everybody together. They plan all these activities that bring you together, and just even like meeting up at the Alchemy Bar and all these different things. But Sharon and John, when they do their cruises together, they do such a great job of planning events that bring you together to get that force you, really.
Why did you leave Jamie out of that? You
And,
just deliberately left Jamie out. Shame.
well,
No, I'm just kidding.
right now, paint. He sells paint right now. Damn it! Right?
Yes.
He sells paint. No, he is right. Jamie is part of that. John's wife Kelly, she's just a little bit more reserved. I'm not saying she's not part of it, but the four of them, they plan these activities that are so much damn fun that you start meeting everybody and just really becoming close to them. And I swear, I absolutely love cruising with Melissa and Just I for a long time. But both of us, we can't wait for the next group cruise. And we look at who is going to be in that cruise that we've been with before. But we also make new friends every single time.
Yeah. And
cruising is such an amazing experience. Besides, I've been to Cozumel probably 15 times.
Please.
And I have a great time every time I go. I've been to St. Thomas 10 times. I've been to all these places. I've been on 36 cruises. I've been on
moly.
You know, everybody crabs on the Bahamas. I'm like, every time I go to Nassau, I have a great time because I make it a great time. But I make it a great time because of the people I'm with. That's what makes it special. And I can't thank John enough for letting me be part of the show. I have a lot to learn about setting up a studio, obviously, but he is really good at what he does. He's very passionate about it. I consider him one of my best friends.
Well, I appreciate that, Larry. And yes, I'm passionate about it, and that is why we'll figure it out. And I'd
get off to.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, though. I really do want to try and get a little bit more collaborative with this. And Trevor's been working on some material that you guys will be seeing soon. I'm hoping I can get Paul drug into some stuff as well, and plenty others. Arnold, for sure. You're about to meet. I think I can show you one thing. Well, you met him already. You've seen it. If you watched the Big October video last week, you got to see Arnold Judge come thumping. I feel like we could do some stuff with that. What I'd really like to do moving forward with this is be more collaborative and also keep it sustainable. And this is the phase 1 of Operation, Ship Show 2.0. We got a lot to, we got work to do, but we'll get it. And hopefully we can make it bigger and better. But I do agree with you with the group cruises. And I am looking forward to this vlogger cruise coming up. But Daniel says you just can't sustain a 3-hour episode. How do you know, Daniel? I could keep going. Don't tell me what I can't do.
Oh.
How about that? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not empty yet.
Yeah, I just looked at my phone. It's 11:45. Truly, I had no intentions of going more than like an hour and 20 minutes, but here we are. And, that's a testament to you, Larry. And, it takes time to figure each other out. We'll get there. And, you get it, John. Keep on trucking. Reference to those 70s you love so much. Absolutely. But my intentions are the girls, Kelly and Stella, they're heading out Friday night for a big gymnastics thing that I'm not invited to. And I am going to finish this video come hell or high water so that next week we can premiere it. And then immediately following the premiere, go live and you guys can shower me with praise. I'm just kidding. But Scott.
Hey, by next week, I won't be on DSL.
I know. Scott says we're going to celebrate your 50th. I'm truly, see, that's another thing. We could sit here and wax poetic about it all night, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, but I didn't know what to expect from Scott, like Cameron and all those guys when we first met them, because, I had never met them. But hanging out with those guys and Slinky and Matt, it was like, it was kind of like two worlds colliding in a way. And it was, I'm excited. Because even now, even though we did the cigars under the stars, and Larry, by the way, thank you for the awesome humidor and all the awesome stogies in like my low point of December when all the bad stuff was happening. Can't thank you enough for that. But one of the things...
Can I respond on that?
Yeah.
Can I respond?
Real quick before I lose my train of thought.
Can I respond?
Yeah, let me finish. Scott was there for Cigars Under the Stars. And he brought me a killer stogie. But on my 50th birthday, I want Scott sitting right next to me. And we're going to freaking sit there and chat it up. That's one of the things that I want to do because one of the other coolest people I've met on a ship. All right, what were you going to say, Larry?
So... Number one, I saw you were down.
Yeah.
And what do friends do when somebody's down? You pick them up.
Push them back down.
Number
again.
two, I was at your house. I saw your humidor, and I was a little embarrassed.
Why is that? It's nice.
So I had to upgrade your humidor, dude. But I gave you some beauties in there.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful humidor, a ton of cigars, and quite frankly, major upgrade. Major upgrade.
It's what friends do, man.
And I appreciate it. It was such a surprise because you sent me a message and you said, tomorrow's going to be a good day. And I'm like, thank you, buddy. Like, I thought you were just giving me words of encouragement. And you're like, no, you'll see. And I saw I had received a package and, on my phone, and I got home and I saw that box and
You were like, who the hell do I know in O'Fallon, Missouri?
I knew it was you when I saw it on my phone when it said Missouri. But
wow, I'm so excited to send that to you. And I don't leave anybody out, but I had great presents from my friend out in Phoenix. But unfortunately, my cruise got canceled because of the air. So I still have gifts for him.
not if
I don't
I
want
have
him to get
anything to do
jumped.
with it. The whole goal this whole time was to fucking.
Wait, he's my roommate on Bromania.
I just said a bad word, and you know how I feel about that, Larry. I do not like doing that, and I apologize. But my whole goal this whole time was to. This was all a long con. I was just trying to steal you away from Jamie.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I love being part of the show.
I'm just kidding.
I can't wait to get all my upgrades tomorrow so that when we do this, whenever we go live again, that it's so much better. And I won't cut out, and background's better, everything better. So I can't thank everybody for tuning in.
Yes, you
I
can.
see a lot of really good friends of mine out there in the chat. No, I really like this. I really, really like doing this, and
I knew you
can't wait for the next show.
I knew when I saw you and Arnold here in the studio that night, that you would be just fine. And I also knew that, which, like I told you in the beginning, which is important to me, when I'm trying something, like trying to fix something, I knew you'd be able to hold your own rather than be like staring at me like doing computer stuff, right? So I appreciate you, Larry. You did a great job, and it's only going to get better. And before you know it, Lindy Lou is going to be our Vanna White. Stay tuned, Lindy. All I have to say. Oh my gosh! Now I'm speaking completely out of turn, but you know, we love you, Lindy Lou. Even though you think I'm too skinny.
Thank you, Lindy Lou. Thank you for the shout out. I'm sorry, I probably won't be able to sing that little tune that John gives you.
Oh, Lindy Lou.
But
he's singing it. You don't sit in that chair and not sing to Lindy Lou. That's a prerequisite. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be heartfelt.
All right. I'll throw it out there from my heart. It won't be good, but I'll throw it out from my heart.
That's all that matters. Lindy Lou knows. She listens to me every week. It ain't good. I'm like, Lindy Lou! Come on now.
Oh, you're the best, man. You're the best singer.
Big Pap says, forgot about the show tonight. Glad you're back. I thought you said forget about the show tonight. I'm like, well, I don't want to, but okay. How you doing, Big Pap? All right, Larry.
So for everybody out there, I'm not speaking from me to John. I'm speaking from everybody out there on the chat. So he does not realize this, and I'm going to tell it to him right now. So before he was fudge. Am I gone?
No, you're still here. Go ahead. I just thought it would be.
All right.
It was a touching moment.
All right. Well, when he would say there's no show on a Wednesday, I would jokingly say, like, what the F up? What the hell am I going to do tonight? But I really meant that. And I say the same thing for my friend Jamie and Sharon on Monday nights. When they would say
Oh
there's no
God,
show,
yeah,
and I'm
I
like,
know that feeling. I hated it. They'd be like, "No live tonight."
seriously. And I would be like, Melissa's like, she would text me because she knew I'd be home alone. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching the Ship Show." She's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really good." It's like these guys are great. And here's my thing: I am never going to replace Doodles. There's just no way. He's a great
Nobody
guy.
can.
He's just got a lot going on. And not his replacement by any means. I'll be the first to say that. Even though John and I have not talked about it, I am not replacing Doodles. I'm not. So, like when I was in his studio with Arnold, who, by the way, is another great guy, and all of a sudden he came in the side window like a Mr. P. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And I give credit to John that he has all these great friends. But I feel very privileged to be part of this show, and I really like it. I've loved watching for years, and I just want to make it better. That's all. And I'm not excluding anybody by any means. And if Jamie wants to be a co-host, I will bow out to give him that opportunity.
Speaking of bowing out,
That was a bum rant.
speaking of bowing out,
That's not me. That is not me. God damn. That's me. That's the creeper care.
all right, y'all. Again,
Never.
Larry, I know you will absolutely you will do just fine. I have zero doubts. I appreciate the kind words. But it's time for us to celebrate one of the best Bugoctober video. Forget Bugoctober. One of the best videos ever made for the Ship Show, and that is this. Until next week, pray for me that I can get this video done. I'm really excited. The excitement in the beginning was much more because I felt like I had something on my hands, but I kind of let the momentum get away from me with it. But it's coming out regardless. Next week I'll have something for you content wise, and from then, you know, working on this video has made any vlog I've ever done the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm not kidding you. You have no idea. Someday I'll tell the story. You have no. As a matter of fact, next week I'll tell the story. But here you go. Kelly Scholes Madison, thank you for this. I will cherish this for as long as I live. Until next week, don't take any wooden nickels. Be nice to each other online. And bagok. Any final words, Larry?
Good night, everyone. I hope to see you the next time on a group cruise.
Come listen to a story about a man named John. He runs down the pier hoping that his ship ain't gone. Come listen to a story about a man named John. He runs down the pier hoping that his ship ain't gone. Aruba has them bushes and they look like a hill. And if you're the rooster, you're bound to take a spill. John down, that is. Skin knees. Oh, the blood. Well, old John chases cat in his undies and he falls. He makes up songs and he sings them for us all. Be it lovely Lindy Lou or Luna's lumpy dumpy poo. He'll get it all on film 'cause that's just what he do. Share, that is, the embarrassment of it all. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to John and all his fun. Those bee stings and spiders, good God, I hope he's done. He owns 1,000,000 hats or two and pimped out his card. The coochie board and toilet rolls. Whoops, there's a fart. It just snuck out. I didn't mean to. Y'all come back now, you hear? Back!
Oh my gosh. Love y'all.
Listen to a story about a man named John.